Good morning, students. Today we are going ahead with the topic called resume writing. So the resume which I am currently focusing on is called as chronological resume. It is also called as a fresh graduate resume. So a fresh graduate resume should not cross more than 2 pages. And what exactly we write in a resume is nothing but the credentials which you have to showcase to the organizer or the employer. Now, going ahead, if the format of a resume is perfect, it will give you a scope to attend an interview. So, because the format should be perfect, because hardly it takes 15, 20, seconds for an employer to go through your resume, and that's all. It should make a difference when compared to the other people. Now, moving ahead, the subheadings of a resume are header, objective, education, practical experience or projects. Because I'm talking about a fresh graduate resume, we are focusing only on projects, where we also talk about internships, because it's not an experienced person, so work experience will not come under this category. So we are only focusing on projects and internships. So the next category is skills. We also have neon web, which is again an important subheading in your resume. The next category is interests, how different you are apart from your curriculum activities. It talks about your character when you're talking about your interests. And the last one is others, where if you have any accomplishments or achievements, you can add under this category. If you don't have anything, we'll just stop at interests. So quickly move on. Before we start preparing our subheadings, the thing you have to collect all your credentials. That means all your certificates. You should know the percentages. What all sports you have participated. Do you have any participation certificates or winner certificates? All those credentials are very, very important before we start going ahead. Moving on, the very first subheading is nothing but the header. So what exactly we should write in a header? So there are four important things which you have to focus in a header. That is nothing but your name, your current address, your email, and your phone number. Now these are the four things where the employer, if they like your resume, to call you for an interview. There are many don'ts which you have to remember. Please do not write resume as a heading. Please do not put any kind of photograph on your resumes. They don't need any kind of your family information. For example, your father's occupation or your nationality or your marital status. Now, all this information will come under biodata, which is called as biographical data, which is totally different from resume. So we'll talk about biodata and curriculum vitae differences in another session. So right now, we will not include any of these activities or things in our resume. It is only about four important things: your name, your address, your email ID, and your phone number, which is very, very important. Moving on. Now the next one is objective, which is very, very important. Now objective is what exactly the company needs and what exactly you can really put forth to occupy that particular position. It should not cross more than 15 words. Please do not keep your objective very generic, as I've given in the example. It should be very crisp and very direct. For example, your objective is to join in a particular company as an entry level programmer in a software development. That is what exactly you have to showcase. Now going back, it only focuses on the position wanted, the functional area, the industry wanted. So these 3 points you have to keep in your mind to write your objective. Do not add any generic information. Moving on, educational qualifications. Now when I'm talking about educational qualification and the third subheading, it should come in reverse chronological order. That is, the latest thing should come in the first. For example, your BTech is the latest. So if you have completed or if you're pursuing, that is the first bullet, pursuing your BTech, under so-and-so college, under so-and-so, category, under department with so-and-so percentage. So it should come in reverse chronological order: BTech, Inter, 10th. So this is very, very important. Now, according to me, I really, tell my students to present your educational qualification in a tabular form. It will be very easy for an employer or the person who's really browsing your resume to know about your things directly if it is in a tabular form. Now see here, qualification, now school or college or university or board, year, degree, specialization, scores, because some call it as percentage, some call it as CGPA, some call it as grades, some call it as division. I just kept one main heading and I've dropped in all my details. This is very, very easy and important for an employer to just, at one glance, they get to know about your qualifications. Moving ahead, this is very, very important subsection, students, because we are talking and focusing mostly on internships and projects. Now, if you show 98%, now today everyone is getting 98%, everyone is getting a distinction level. So how different you are when compared to your peer students. So that's why the employers are focusing mainly on what projects you're doing. Now you have learned something, where exactly you're showcasing your, subject. That is what is important. So that's why projects and internships play a very, very important role in your resume, because I'm talking about a fresh graduate resume. Okay. Now this is how exactly you need to write your projects. The guidelines are, whenever you're talking about your project, the title or the name of the project is very, very important. Your role is important. From which particular period to which particular period you have done your project, and at least 2 lines briefly about the project that tells you how exactly you worked in that particular project and what is the output. Okay. Now there is an example here, an academic project. You can just clearly see, how good I've, written a particular title for the project. I've also named the time period very clearly in the brackets, and 2 sentences about, that particular project. Now, why I'm asking you all to write it in a brief way is, it talks about your skills. Now, you can't just put bullets and say, I have leadership qualities, or I can persuade people, I can speak very well. You need to justify when you put bullets and write about your soft skills. But when you're writing your projects, you can indirectly showcase your skills. Now, when I take this as an example, I convinced 100 individuals when the target being 60. See, it shows I have really a good persuasive skills. So giving a title to your particular, project, what role you have done. Now, when we do projects, when we do internships, we do in groups. So you should know what was your role and the importance of that particular role in that particular project. Okay. Moving ahead, don'ts. Please do not write, something very generic. Now, see, I volunteered for Greenpeace as a direct dialogue representative and achieved targets. So at that particular time, when the interviewer is asking you something, you start trembling, you start recollecting. So if you put information there, now resume is something that it gives you the entire details. So you can also go through it, and when certain questions are asked on that particular projects or internships, you have readily data in your mind and you can move ahead. So it helps you in 2 ways. Now going ahead, skills is the next subheading. Now skills are very, very important. Now here you have certain learned skills, you have certain innate skills, soft skills, and also IT skills depending upon your, job or the subject what you have taken. Now, for example, what is your innate skill? I can, I have good persuasive skills. I can adjust to any particular environment. I speak loud. I take initiatives. Now, this is all because of the environment in which you are brought up in. Now, when I really talk about my learned skills, I'm very good at keyboard. I'm a public speaker. Now, certain skills are not by birth. They come because we learn them. It is very useful for us. So you need to know about your skills and start, giving a heading and talk about your technical skills. For example, you have done certain certifications, C, C++ or Java, certain certifications, and, you have learned certain skills. That is also very, very important. Now, moving ahead, web presence, as I told you, Neon Web. Now, these days, keeping up with the trend. Now, here I'm not talking about, your Orkut ID, or I'm not talking about your Facebook ID or those things. I'm talking about certain important things. For example, if you're running a blog, you know, so giving those details, it gives a greater impression on the employer. Now, everyone should create a LinkedIn profile, which is very, very important. Now, sometimes, certain students, they take the project, what they have done, and they explain it and they create a video and they'll upload in the YouTube. If you drop in that link in your resume, it also has a greater impact. So you're not sticking the project because you have to do it. You have done it, and it is also useful for others also. In such a way, you need to project your things. So MeOnWeb, if you have a blog, if you have uploaded any particular video which is related to your job or your subject, I'm not talking something which is irrelevant, students, kindly underline it. So at least a LinkedIn profile, which is very, very important ID to place on your resume. Now, moving ahead, it is all about your interests. As I told you, interests will talk about your character. Okay. So while writing your interests, I gave an example here. You don't just, put a, what do you call it, a bullet and just say, trekking or running or, gardening. Certain things are not really important. Whatever you write, it should at least go with 1 or 2 sentences. Now, if you're passionate about running, you participated in so and so groups, you participated in 2 or 3 marathons, something at least in 2 or 3 lines are very, very important. Please do not give bullets and write just like I learned guitar or I read books. See, a simple example, commonly people write as I read books, I listen to music. So they think it is very easy, but the examiner, I'm sorry, the interviewer might ask you what kind of books you read. What was the latest book you have read? What is the main theme in that particular book? You go blank. So when you're writing something, you think 2 to 3 times and write at least in 2 or 3 sentences. So when you start writing it in 2 or 3 sentences, you're coming down. So you're coming down to a specific point where it will be easy for you to focus on that when someone asks you anything particularly on that. Okay. So this is the format. I know it is not very much clear, but I just pasted here because it shows you how systematic the things are. Where exactly I showcased or focused mostly on the name. The other details are given on the top. It is about the objective, education. It is all about the internship. It is all about the projects. And then I went on with soft skills, MeOnWeb, professional arts. So, some of you are very good at dancing, singing. If you really have a certification based on it, you can put that also in your resume. The last is nothing but interests, and last is nothing but your signature. And there is nothing like declaration statement today in your resume. Do not write your declaration saying that I so and so hereby declare that the above said information is true to my knowledge. There's nothing like that. So after finishing your interest, you can just put your signature. It is very much authentic that you're agreeing to accept all the above aspects. I hope the session was useful. We'll go for a further discussion once again on each and every subtopic in detail. Thank you.